There, welcome to Rider Bonsai and Cacti again. In this week's episode, we are going to work on a Japanese maple. It's starting to push out its leaves, the buds are really opening up, and I need to repot it. I want to repot it because, I'm going to show you. Have fun. This is the plant. I found it in, I think, October, November in a nursery, in a garden center, in the um, in the aisle where they would give or sell plants against a low price. This is what they call a Acer Japanese maple going green. So I think it will have green leaves. I don't know about the shape. When I bought it, it didn't have any leaves yet. As you can see, it's quite high. I think 1 meter high. But what interested me in the plant was this. This. And maybe you're going to say it's a really ugly root. Maybe, but on the other hand, I'm very curious what's lurking underneath the soil. And I think this could be a nice feature for a bonsai. And then the tree not too high. So I don't know yet. Maybe cut it here, but probably leave this one here and cut this one here or here. I don't know yet, but let's see how the development will turn out to be. Yeah. First thing I'm going to do is take it out of the pot and see what lurks underneath. Well, as you can see, the roots are quite developed. So yeah, there are a lot of roots. But let's see. I want to put it in a nice bonsai pot. Depending on what we find here again, of course. I don't know if you are interested in seeing this or not. If not, well, I'm going to show you anyway. No, if not, you just have to bear with me. You will just have to bear with me. It has a nice, healthy amount of roots. Too much, I would say. You see? Quite a lot of roots, not too congested, but You see, inside there are roots, but it's not really congested inside, so with a little bit of work we will manage to open up that root ball. You see? Here are some thick roots. I think this one is the taproot. So, look at this. It's all sand. So, I'm going to work a little bit more on the roots, and then we'll come back when I clean the roots. So I try to clean the roots a little bit better. As you see, I never washed the roots, so I did not wash these roots either. I just don't do that. I don't think it's necessary. Now let's take a little look at these roots. They are long, like this one. It's probably too deep anyway for being in a pot. First, let's trim those roots back a bit. Well, let me go inside, try to find a nice bonsai pot, and then I will be back in a second. So, this is the pot I chose. Maybe a little bit big, but as it's going to be the first adjust to life in a bonsai pot. Yeah, this was stupid, of course. It has to go in like this. And amount of bonsai soil. I'm going to do this like this. First, try and get go the way. Hey, where did you go? Yeah.